What's happening, NBA Twitter? What an opening week to the NBA season. You had some great individual performances and team performances. What I'm going to do today are give you my 5 most pleasant surprises of opening week. Now, there is a caveat. These surprises must be somewhat sustainable. So, for instance, there will not be a Kendrick Nunn in this list. With all due respect to the undrafted rookie down in Miami, great opening week, 22 points a game. But I look at him as like a Flip Murray in 2003 in Seattle. A Linsanity with Jeremy Lin. It's not going to continue. Jimmy Butler's on his way back, and Nunn will come back to earth. With that said, let's get it started. At number 1, Trey Young. Now, you're sitting there saying, wait a minute. I thought this was supposed to be sustainable. You think he's going to average 34 points and 9 assists a game, Chris? No, I don't. But how about 24 points and 9 assists, 25, 26 points and 9 assists? I think Trey Young is capable of doing that. He is looking like a mix, or he's got some of Steve Nash in him and some of Steph Curry in him. I think he's for real, shooting 52% from 3. Obviously, that won't continue. But since last February, he's shooting 37% on three-pointers. That's a nice little sample size. I think he'll stay hot from 3. Trey Young, the most pleasant surprise. At number 2, how about the Minnesota Timberwolves with KarlAnthony Towns? Now, look, I've been saying all offseason, KarlAnthony Towns' honeymoon period is over. Meaning, the numbers are nice, but if you can't start leading your team to the playoffs, you leading them, not Jimmy Butler a couple years ago, if you can't start leading them to the playoffs, then we gonna just start thinking you're not as great as your numbers suggest. I'm glad to see KarlAnthony Towns improve three-point shot, passing the ball really well, 32 points, 13 boards, 5 dimes a game. He should be able to get the Minnesota Timberwolves into the playoffs with Golden State looking like they're about to fall out. At number 3, the Dallas Mavericks duo of Luka, Doncic, and Kristaps Porzingis. We've heard of all the dynamic duos in the league. LeBron and AD, James Harden and Russell Westbrook, Kawhi and Paul George, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, CJ McCollum and Dame Lillard. But there's another one. It's down in Dallas. I'm telling you, Luka Doncic, I think he's a future MVP candidate. Right now, he's averaging 29 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. I think Kristaps Porzingis could emerge into an all-star. He's averaging 26 points a game. They are looking like they could do for the Mavericks, hear me now, what Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki did for the Mavericks years ago. Put them back on the map, get them moving toward contention once again. I mentioned Minnesota before, fighting for that 8th playoff spot in the Western Conference. Dallas should be there fighting right with them. They have the duo plus a great coach in Rick Carlisle. At number 4, Ja Morant. I know we're all upset that Zion Williamson is not playing. I want to see him just as badly as you do. But Ja Morant has come in to fill the void. A lot of people thought he might be the best rookie in this draft class, and he's looking very much the part right now. 18 points, 6 assists a game. He may not keep that up, but he is looking like a future star. 30 points, 10 assists in a showdown with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, arguably the best point guard in the league. Ja Morant blocks his shot at the end of overtime when Kyrie was going for the win. Ja Morant looking like the real deal. They've got something special down there in Memphis. At number 5, let's stick with the rookie thing. And finally, after a summer of being stiffed by Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and then to add insult to injury, KD says the Knicks aren't cool. My goodness, finally, some good news for the folks in the Big Apple. RJ Barrett looks for real. RJ Barrett off to a great start, 20 points a game, 50% shooting from the floor, and no, he didn't have some huge game that boosted his average. He's had 2 20-point or plus scoring games, and his lowest output is 16 points in these first 4 games. He scored more points in the first 4 games than any Knicks rookie since Patrick Ewing. Now that is saying something. The Knicks, I don't expect them to be very good this year, but RJ Barrett, who's not a point guard, more like a small forward, maybe a point forward at times, he looks like he could really blossom into a legitimate star. That would be great for them to have in New York. All right, there it is, the 5 most pleasant surprises of opening week. Let's see if these guys sustain it.